The Big Whack presents Buffalo on the Rise, sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process. Welcome to the television show devoted to local business, Buffalo on the Rise, with your host, Joe Chili. There's an entrepreneurial spirit in Western New York that's putting our area on the cusp of greatness. Each week, Buffalo on the Rise features local business leaders and decision makers who are shaping our future. If it's about local business, we'll talk about it right here, right now, during Buffalo on the Rise.
I'm Joe Chili. On this edition of The Big Whack presents Buffalo on the Rise. Do you hate how your bathroom looks? The experts from Bath Fitter can make a change in just one day. Find out how. Looking to make your patio a cool outdoor gathering space? Let Flamingo Patio create the look you want. If you want to make your investments grow, then the team at SC Parker can make it happen, ensuring a bright financial future for you and your family. All on this edition of The Big Whack presents Buffalo on the Rise. I'm Joe Chili. You can listen to me mornings on The Big Whack. Joining us today on The Big Whack's Buffalo on the Rise is Rachel Berbeles, who's the Director of Marketing for Bath Fitter. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Look at that smile. It's a smile that attracts everybody. You know, you make the show look so much better when you come out. Thanks, I really appreciate that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Bath Fitter in general. 40 years in the market. You know, businesses sometimes don't last 6, 7 years, 8 years, right? What do you attest that to, 40 years?
The people, for sure. It's the people that have worked here. I know myself, I've been here 12 years. Some people obviously have been here since the beginning. Even in Buffalo, we have employees that have been working here 20 plus years, but it's the people. We're like a family, and we've learned and grown together, and we do a great job.
See, it's okay for you to pat yourself on the back because, you know, this is what this is all about. And I think the other thing is, I realize, at least I have heard, and you're probably going to be able to echo this, improvements to bathrooms and kitchens are the most when it comes to resale value of your home, right?
Yeah, it's great to update your bathroom in your home or your kitchen, just something beautiful that's long lasting. So something at Bath Fitter, I mean, in the world of remodeling your home, I think something that's really important is picking a company that you can trust. So whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom, one of the things that we really work hard to be is a company that you can trust. So doing business with us, we take it personally. You know, 40 years, we've done things really right. We've learned from some of the things that we've done, and we want to be around here for 40 more years, you know, going forward. But I think when you are looking to remodel, whether it's your bathroom in your home, doing the research of a company, making sure that they're insured, that the reviews are good. What have the customers locally been saying about that company? I think there's just some research we're hoping that customers start to do before they do any kind of investments into their home for resale value or just to live there. And having a company that you can trust is important.
You know, I think people too, when they think about it, when they use, like, say, for instance, contractors, and I don't want to give contractors a bad name or put shade on contractors, but sometimes you get them in and they have multiple jobs. And so, you know, you might see somebody, you know, on a Monday, and then you see him next Tuesday, and then you see him the week after or whatever. But you guys go usually start to finish, right?
Yes, so Bath Fitter is all we do. So the tub and shower area is all we do. And something great to mention is, so say you're having estimates, the sales guy comes in, and everyone hates being sold, I would think. So you have everybody selling the best thing out there. But then when the person that actually comes to the install, they're Bath Fitter employees. We don't hire or contract anyone out. The work's done in a day. So that person that arrives to your home to do the actual install, they work for us. We make and manufacture all of our products. We make and manufacture all of our machines that make our products, and everyone that you deal with is a Bath Fitter employee. So we are in control of the process from the day you meet us until forever because you have a lifetime warranty.
When somebody comes in and they want to, you know, maybe have a tub taken out, put a shower in, or whatever the case may be, are the days of showing them drawings over with? Do you use, you know, iPads? What do you do now?
So we do a couple of things. What's cool, we do have an iPad that goes in and it does like a little 3D scan and like measures your bathroom. But then we also have a tool it's called Design Your Own Bath. You can visit it online at designyourownbath.com. But customers make like a 3D rendering of their specific bathroom. Do they want a tub, a shower, grab bars, seats, glass doors, grab bars?
When do people ever get embarrassed? Like, oh, here you can come in and look at my bathroom, but don't tell anybody. Don't look at my pink or green tub.
Yeah, you hear like the music when you're pulling back the shower curtain. Yeah, I mean, it is something that the beautiful shower curtain hides that. So it is maybe embarrassing, but not for us. It's something that we have been dealing with for 40 years, so don't be embarrassed by whatever's behind the curtain. We'll take care of it and make it beautiful.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
No, what bothers me, and I'm in a townhouse, it's a little bit of an older townhouse, and just even water spots, water buildup, and then you're scrubbing away and scrubbing away and scrubbing away, and it takes forever to kind of get that done. But the newer tubs, showers, things like that, it doesn't affix. Is it more porous? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's ours is made from acrylic. It's a non-porous surface. It's I use Windex at home. Wipe it down. It looks shiny, brand new. In case you didn't know what Windex sounded like, it was like. So I wipe it down and it looks brand new. You're not worrying about water spots because it doesn't adhere. It's a non-porous surface where some older units like fiberglass or the old porcelain, that shine has rubbed off and now it's absorbing all the colors and grime. We'll put the new stuff in. You don't got to worry about that.
How long does it take? If somebody wants to have something done, and between the time that they figure it out, you give the individuals a price or whatever, and they get it done.
Yeah, so if you had someone in your home today giving an estimate, just as an example, let's call it 2 or 3 weeks. So you're going to have us in there that day. We're going to measure it. You're going to design it. Those measurements go right off to the plant. We're actually going to create it for you. It comes to us, and depending on our install times, 2 to 3 weeks. But upon arrival, the installer gets there in the morning. They're done before dinner time. So a day to install. So you're maybe like a 3-week time period.
I have family members that can't get out of a shower, in a day's time. So that's pretty darn good.
Well, we're doing same day estimates. So even if they called today, they could potentially have a salesperson out by later today.
Well, that's pretty wild. All right. So what is the first step in the individual, what they want to do? We have a minute left. What do you recommend a viewer do?
Sure. Give us a call or visit us online at bathfitterbuffalo.com. They could even go to designyourownbath.com. Do a 3D rendering of their own bathroom, but give us a call, fill out an inquiry online, message us off our website. They could stop by our showroom, but honestly, the easiest way, let us come to you.
All right, very good. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Bathfitter by calling 716-242-8995 or go to bathfitterbuffalo.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following. Hi, I'm Joe Chili. Mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, The Big Weck. Joining us on The Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise today is Nathan Cross, who's the owner of Flamingo Patio. Nathan?
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
Nice to see you again. I think that it's patio season, and, people like to get outside. I just feel like most of the year we're closed up, and we're seeing the inside 4 walls of a house, and you're not seeing anything outside or getting fresh air or whatever like that. So I love when, spring and summer comes around, and it's just fantastic. So have you had people that have purchased in the off season come and see you in preparation?
A little bit, and also in the off season, because people aren't coming into the store as much, we feel tighter. We're more in a wheeling and dealing type mood kind of thing. But now, full season, and there's a lot less of that. But yeah, we get a few people stumbling in there in January. Yeah.
Stumbling in. What's the difference? You see when you go into a supermarket, you see some of the, patio furniture sitting on display in different parts of the supermarket, or you go into Walmart or something like this, and, you pick up patio furniture for $400, $500. Now, you're paying more than that for the furniture that you have, but we're talking about a premium type furniture, right?
Yes, so there's a handful of differences actually. The biggest difference I would say is the base material used to construct the frames. What we have is almost all aluminum, mostly cast, some extruded, but it's aluminum, so it won't rust over time. It doesn't heat up in the sun if it sits out in the sun for a long time. And then the cushions we have are all solution dyed cushions, which means the dye is through the whole thread, which keeps it from fading in the sun.
Oh.
So those high quality materials are the biggest differences. Now, if you look at the next step, even nicer, it's like how the welds are done. Are they just little welds or like full circumference welds, right? The detail and the craftsmanship that the forge puts into this stuff, which is more complicated to talk about. But
Is the furniture heavier?
it depends. Some of this stuff has some weight to keep it from moving away, blowing away in the wind. I know we were discussing that earlier, but we have some things that are nice and light because it's aluminum. I mean, aluminum is a light metal, an expensive metal, but fairly light, so you can move things around easily most of the time.
Now, we talked before about this, and I brought it up to you off the air today, and you said, yeah, I mean, some of the furniture people may leave out all year round, some of the furniture they get from you, right?
I did.
You couldn't do that with regular furniture. I
No,
mean,
well, and that's back to it being made of something that's not aluminum. Like if something is steel, sure, it's very good at resisting physical impacts, but it will rust out over time. You can't expect that to last for years. Or iron, same type of thing. But yeah, I left both my sets out all year. It looks perfect.
Really, just took the cushions in, right?
Yeah, yes, I did take the cushions in.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, that's a good thing to know. Also, now what's the difference between your furniture and what's in the, well, you know, some of the things that are in the Buffalo market? I mean, why would somebody decide to pay a premium price for furniture, aside from the fact that it's maybe constructed better? Do you have better colors too? Do you have better variety?
Yes, especially when you're comparing to some of the like subscription big box stores who once in a while will have maybe one set a season. That's very nice. I have to give them credit where it's due. They have a very good price on usually one nice thing. But if your preferences don't perfectly line up with that one good thing they have that season, I mean, you're stuck. And there's a vast number of different types of items, different colors, different styles, and the vast majority of people don't want the one item that they can walk into a store like that and get. So yes, that's when you come to me if you want to see a huge landscape of all the different stuff.
Plus, some people, I mean, I don't imagine that everybody wants to have, you know, you have the same patio furniture as your neighbor, as their neighbor, as their neighbor.
Sure.
You know, so what about, do you have a showroom that people can come in and actually see the product?
Oh yeah, I want people to come in, sit down, lay down. We have coffee bar, people can come and grab drinks. They can just come and hang out. I want people to experience it because when you sit in it is when you believe in it. At least that was the case for me. So I want people to come in, yes.
So you were sold on it. You know, when you first saw it, you said, you know, when you wanted to get into the business, you know, it really impressed you. You said, this is something different. This is something that I can deal with.
I will tell you the point in time that I really believed in it. When I first saw it, I didn't necessarily. I mean, we had a very different business. We were selling more types of things like you would get at much lower end stores. I didn't really even know what quality looks like at the time. And I guess a lot of Buffalo doesn't. A lot of this is about education. But I brought this fire pit set home and was looking at it, and I actually sat in it for a few hours at night with the fire going, weather was perfect, and I was just like, wow. This is probably the nicest outdoor furniture I've ever sat in my life. It's just, it feels so nice, it looks so nice. And that is when I believed in the business, that we really have a lot of value we can offer people here, because there just isn't this type of thing in the Buffalo market.
And you may be paying more money for premium furniture, but it's lasting that much longer. It's
Yes,
not every
and,
couple of years.
I mean, our pricing is actually pretty good because we order a lot of stuff and direct from the factory, or in the case a year and a half ago, we actually bought out one of our suppliers. So, of course, when we do something like that, we can pass on a lot of that lower price to the customer.
That's great. Well, we're all coming over to your house to try it out.
Please,
Okay,
yes.
You know, that's good. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Flamingo Patio by calling 716-671-8045 or go to flamingopatio.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following. I'm Joe Chile. You can listen to me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise is Jeff Hahn from SC Parker. Jeff is the president, the owner, and a certified financial planner. How about that?
Very good, Joe.
I said certified, not certifiable. I said certified. Just make sure that we're good with it.
Thanks so much for
You
that.
know, I'm very impressed when you come on, because I hate to say it and I hate to seem, uneducated, but when it comes to investments, I just feel lost. Do people, when they meet with you, do they try to put on a show? Do they try to study up in advance and come in and make like they know something, or are they like me?
I would say the vast majority are like you.
Really?
Yep, and even clients that we have worked with for decades even, we're going over the fundamentals of the markets and basic economic information, economic education really. It's a big part of what we do. Yeah.
Is it something where people panic? I mean, do people go and they say things like, things are going down. I mean, the market's going down. Market's changing. I'm really nervous. Should I pull out and put someplace else or whatever? Do people ask you these things, and is that a wise decision?
Usually not a wise decision.
Yeah, okay.
You're into timing the market, and that's an investment practice that has been proven to lose your money, right?
Really?
It's one of the worst investment practices out there.
So you're trying to tell me that, just watching the film Wolf of Wall Street doesn't make you a financial expert?
Oh, maybe not. It might make you expert in some other things, but not on the investment and finance side. No.
What's the market like right now? I mean, the bond market, market conditions, stock market. What are we looking at right now at the present time?
Well, first of all, and this goes back to that education thing, right? The stock market and the bond market are two very different things. When you're investing in the stock market, you're doing it with the purpose of growing your assets. You're buying ownership of companies, and you're doing that with the expectation and the hope that they'll go up in value, right? Now, they change in price every second of the day, Joe. So you got to be aware of that when you're in the markets. The bond market is loans. So people put money into the bond market to preserve their asset and generate some income from it. So it's different things.
All right, so an individual that is investing that's younger should be looking at what as compared to somebody that's older, my age?
Yeah, so when you're younger, you can take on more risk generally, and you have a longer runway, and you will profit from that in most cases. We can't guarantee profits and all the rest of that, right? As people grow older and they want to preserve more of their asset or use more of their assets to live off of, that's when you start seeing it shift out of the stock market, maybe into the bond market or the money markets and that kind of thing.
So if you're talking to someone about getting their financial affairs in order, right? What are you talking about? Are you talking about understanding what your finances are? Are you talking about, well, we've got to shift this, shift that, shift this, depending, and is it really age related at that point?
It is always good to have your finances and your investments in good order and organized. And we spend a lot of time with our clients just working on that point and explaining to them what they own, right? The other thing where that comes up a lot, Joe, is when folks get older and they need help with their financial affairs. So maybe the kids who are at that time adults themselves or middle-aged or that kind of thing, they're scrambling trying to figure out what mom and dad have. And we go through that a lot, right? And it's something we try to solve those problems well ahead of time, because if mom or dad passes away and they aren't taken care of, what could have been taken care of in a couple minutes or hours can take months or years to sort out.
Jeff, this is going to sound kind of weird, but do you ever have a situation where mom and dad just don't want to tell the siblings what they have?
All the time.
Really?
Yes, and we have family meetings, we call it, right? Where we'll bring the whole family into the conference room and say, okay, here's where it's at. And and it's a real important thing. We're all in charge of our own economy, Joe. And as folks grow older, they need help. And the help they get will depend on the information that they give, right? And it's really an important thing. And it's great financial planning. And I gotta say, not to brag, but it's something that we handle extremely well in our office.
That's really good because people aren't generally in school educated on this, right? I mean, it seems to be a little bit of a failing in education.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to
No,
get on.
we only have a
I don't
minute
want
or
to get
so
on the
left.
soapbox, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
I think this is a huge problem for our society, and it's neglect on the part of the education system, quite frankly.
Really?
Yep.
Did you have a hard time explaining to your kids about it?
Well, my kids all did the one business class that talked about finance and investments at Williamsville South High.
You didn't
it was
teach
an
it.
elective, right? Now, why you would not have them take an economics and basic budgeting and basic fundamentals of investment and that kind of thing? They're all going to be working in the economy at some point in time. They're participating in it. I would think it's a yearly thing that they should do.
All right.
Kind of like physical education, financial education.
Fiscal education, right? There
Hey,
you go.
excellent,
That works. There you
yes.
go. All right, Jeff. For more information and answers to your questions, contact SC Parker by calling 716-632-6800 or go to scparker.com. Sponsorship and promotional considerations for the preceding segment was provided by the following.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise. For information on this and other shows, go to our website, bigwack.com, and find out how you can participate on the program if you're a hometown business. I'm Joe Chili. Thanks for watching and listening to the Big Wack, Buffalo's oldie station.
The Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise was sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process.